Get the Blu-ray. No.
Get the Blu-ray. You get the nipples if you get the Blu-ray. Hi, everybody. I'm leaving that in. All right.
Perfect cold open.
Perfect cold open. Things are better. Restarted everything, router, the whole shit. So the rest of this recording session should be good. Yeah, this was man, we've mentioned it. My God, is this show on a budget? So, Mike, go ahead.
So this is episode 20 of The Shape of Hearts and Humans. So during the climax of the massive fight against the angel Zerul, Shinji achieved a 400% synchronization ratio with Unit 1, a level thought impossible. However, because of this, Shinji has merged with the Evangelion, and his body reverted to LCL inside the entry plug. Over the course of 30 days, as Unit 1 stands immobile in its hangar, Ritsuko struggles to come up with a way to restore Shinji. Meanwhile, Shinji's consciousness goes on an introspective odyssey while merged with Unit 1, in which he comes into contact with the soul of his mother, Yui Ikari. After speaking with Yui, Shinji is reborn from Unit 1's exposed core. Later that evening, Misato and Kaji resume their love affair. During their meeting, Kaji hands her a chip which details all his findings from spying on Nerve, telling her it might be his last gift to her. So, I'd like to call this episode "Horny on Main,"
man,
because
it's a clip show. It's
a clip show.
Well, not just because they show footage from older episodes, but I swear they were rehashing animation left and right.
There's maybe 10% of this that is new. 10, 20?
That's being generous.
Yeah, but oh boy, did I forget the amount of nippleless, naked 14-year-olds that were in this episode.
Oh, God. I get what they're doing with this and just like the whole like philosophical existential journey and such, but man, that was a lot more nudity that even most modern anime won't even go to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is where the 90s isms come into play.
Yeah. And oh boy, did I forget until you said it exactly how you said it, how much more of it's gotten to the point of the subtlety nuclear bomb with the thing that they have not outright said quite yet. But yeah, one thing that I want to bring up that every time I see this, how did they get it back in the basement? They never say anything. They're just like, wow, it's out of control. We've lost all means of controlling this AV unit. It must have fell asleep and we put it back in the basement.
We just dragged it back down. And made it look like I forgot what iteration of the Joker from the comics this was, but this
looks like the one where they ripped his face off in 52 when the doll maker ripped his face off.
That's the one.
Yep.
Yeah, no, and I'm surprised anybody could sleep after seeing that nightmare of a image of just Unit 1 with just a creepy eye poking out and just a huge grin. Just
the fact that they had to have branded bandages.
Buy our merch. No.
Buy our merch. Buy our giant Ava bandages. One will fit the whole body.
One of my favorite cuts from this episode is when Kaji says like, Sally's not gonna like this, and basically the summation of the next scene is, we don't like this.
Yes, exactly. The whole scene was, I'm starting to think this was a bad idea. How about the rest of you? You agree? Cool.
Yeah, thank you, bureaucracy. You're realizing that it's wrong. After the fact, something wild just happened. So,
this is I can't remember what the exact title of the string of episodes was in South Park, but it was the definition of when Captain Hindsight comes in.
Oh, yes.
He's just like, this would have been better if you would have done it this way and that way. Thank you, Captain Hindsight. Away!
Wow, thank you, Captain Hindsight. Oh, God.
Oh, man.
And do they even leave? They're always sitting there. They never leave or move. Not because it would cost money to make them get out of their seats, but
I think they just live there.
It just reminds me of, man, it reminds me of who was the grasshopper villain or like guest in Space Ghost Coast to Coast? Or the
what's
praying
his name?
mantis thing.
Zorbrak or something? No.
I can't think of what it is.
Zorak.
Yeah,
Zorak. There's a great, it's one of my favorite memes when they talk about shows being cheap. It's just like, and you never move from that position. That's because if I turned, it would cost Cartoon Network $47. It's like something like that. I can't remember the dollar amount, but I love it every time I see it.
Oh, that show. That show is great.
Oh, it's the best. I know.
Just... Can we watch that instead? Just say like Fresh Takes Evangelion episode 22. It's just like, man, that was a great Space Coast episode. Oh, we were supposed to watch an episode?
Oh man, I got a glimpse of the next one while I was waking up waiting on you guys. While I was getting through while you guys were waiting. They do an anime trope in the first 2 seconds, and I'm just like, something important happens because they don't play the intro. So we're really getting into it. Like I said, the subtlety nuclear bomb is about to go off because they've been planting it. It's in the Enola Gay right now. She's going to get dropped.
The mom is finally giving it a little more screen time.
She's getting a little more screen time. And Ritsuko had a conversation. Mike, do you want to talk about what Ritsuko said is part of the Evangelions?
Well, before we get there, I'll let Cameron say that. But going back to Gendo as a bad father, one of the lines he says, like, if it's a boy, we'll name him Shinji. If it's a girl, we'll name him Rei or Rei.
Rei. That's don't worry. That's on the same train of thought. Don't you worry. So when we get in there, they're like, "Yeah, what's so different? Why are these monsters? Whatever. I'm Ritsuko and I'm Misato and I'm pissed." They have the will of someone inserted into them. And when Shinji's in the thing, he again talks about how that smells like mother.
Mom. First of all, that's a creepy as hell line. You don't want to say that.
After they show a picture of him breastfeeding.
Like 90% of this episode is like still frames.
This is approaching the problems that I have with the boys. We're gonna God. We're going to talk about breast milk. None of that imagery is ever needed.
We're getting
love
into
that show, but fuck.
We're getting into like the territory of animation quality to like, I don't know if y'all have heard of Clutch Cargo.
Oh God.
I have not.
It's basically where they have still frames and then they green screen or blue screen someone's like a real life mouth over the person's mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's like an old
movie used to do with celebrity guests on late night. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. No, it's like if they ran out of more money or they just like they must have been saving so much, like some kind of money to do for the next episode, because like I said, it was just still frames for the most part, rehashed animation or still frames. Not barely anything new.
And have you noticed during like the horny on main part, they literally repeated the same shot, like
couldn't even alter it a touch.
No.
This
reminds me of a bad animation take I saw on Twitter, where it's even I don't know if the person was being serious or not, but they were talking about like the Pokemon intro and such, and they were like, this thing is hand animated. They are having to redraw this every single episode, and it's like, the hell are you talking about? They animate that thing once, rehash it every single time. So shut up.
I was. If
Can you imagine if that was actually what was needed? If the guy could reproduce that every time they made an episode, that dude needs to be doing something else.
There would be no industry if like they had to keep doing that, because I don't know how you would live.
Yeah, and if I can find the clip, I'll send it to you guys. Shane Top is a member of Smosh, and I'm a huge fan of his. There's a joke that he does in one of their Try Not to Laugh challenges where he pretends to be a guy on one of those like Magic Kingdom rides where they come out and they tell you the ooh, and he's like, "Don't look into the wandering eye for whatever it happened." And then all of a sudden it cuts and he goes, "Oh, it's not pre-recorded. I have to say it every fucking time." And then he just like does it like 6 times in a row, and the ending one he just goes, "Fuck!" It's just he's showing the psyche of a man breaking apart for 30 years. He said this 78 times a day. Oh, it's fantastic. I love it. Anyway, back to this.
Back to the actual episode.
Yeah.
First of all, Asuka, can you just lay off a little? Oh, he did it just to show off. Ugh. Listen, I was lining up because all you kids are screwed through hell. I get it. But Shinji did none of that while you got your Ava's head and arms sliced off. Shut it.
Yes, his Grandmaster plan. I'm going to copy CinemaSins. Let's talk about Shinji's plan. So his plan to show you up, Asuka, was to quit, be morally pissed off that his best friend, one of his best friends, was almost killed, completely quit Nerve. Both of you simultaneously get attacked by an angel 2 minutes after he quits. It single-handedly whoops both your asses. Then he was going to run back, get back into the Ava, know full well that thing was going to go berserker, grow a human arm, and then eat the angel. That was his plan. Man, that stupid guy that saved my life. Oh, I hate him so much. Oh, I wish you'd have let me die so I could have been a cool person. Oh my God, Rebecca, stop cheating on Tony with me.
And you wonder why Asuka's my least favorite.
He's everyone's least favorite. Like I have endured, and like I get it. She's serving the purpose she's meant to serve. But like again, not watching this up until we've done these fresh takes, I was just like, man, I really think they overdo with how much people hate Asuka. No, they don't.
No, she gets the hate she deserves.
Yeah.
It's rare that I think that about certain characters, but this time it's justified.
I mean, like there are points where it's like they tone her down and it's like, oh hey, now she's great and such, but it's like I mean, I get it. It's that tsundere mindset of like it's like I wasn't worried or anything, baka. And it's just like,
for those that don't know, baka is idiot in Japanese.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know, sorry. It's just it's like even Stretch Armstrong would tell you that's a stretch to say Shinji did all that to show off.
My favorite, I don't remember who told me this, but someone, I think I got it off Reddit. Someone was like, "Do you play Halo? Because that's a reach."
Oh, that's good.
It's like I am stealing that. Yeah. But yeah, and like, God, why would you call the Tommy Ray's okay? Just don't tell me stupid things and waste my time. You went and visited Shinji? No, I'm wrong. I messed that up. That was school representative that they refused to say her name visiting Toji. I messed that up. I was wrong. But she did at other times check on him, like outside the door. But anyway, it's just like, you're at home. You ripped up all your teddy bears and your magazines because God forbid. Oh my gosh. It'd be at that point where it's just like, can we have Masato just... I'm a person that suffered child abuse. But just a light tap in the back of the head.
Little
just
a light tap.
Just a light tap and a good stern talking to is all she needs.
No, and I mean, like I don't know where to go with this one. Just like
hold on. On the topic of unbearable characters, Brock, were there any other than Rasu, but even he got better? Were there any characters in Gurren that at first I was like, why are you here?
No, there never was. And I was about to ask you, honestly, on a scale of Rasu being like a 2, On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you not like Asuka?
I'll say this: she has never been. I don't think she's ever been better than like a 4.
Okay. And
Well,
give or
I
take, you only hated Rossi when he started being a dick bag to Simone.
Yes.
Exactly.
I mean, like, I think Asuka was at her best when Shinji and Rei had to crawl through the shutdown, the power outage
Yep.
thing.
Yeah, that was actually genuinely her best moment.
That's also her best dialogue I think she's had in the whole show.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
No,
Yep.
and
God
And
agrees
so-
as the sunlight is coming back into my room again. No, people, I haven't gotten the curse yet.
but man, Shinji, I feel bad for him just only because his little mental gymnastics field trip that he took, and then the whole mom thing.
Which
I feel bad what's going to happen to him when he turns 15.
yeah, I get that. And this has gotten to the point of where Shinji is justified in having mental breakdowns. And we talk about the mom thing. Hey, Mike, do you want to read a certain part of the synopsis over again?
Which part?
The part where Shinji is birthed from the Eva.
Oh, God.
After speaking with Yui, Shinji is reborn from Unit 1's exposed core. Exposed core.
Cool. I'm just glad we got that line of dialogue in there again.
Oh,
I was going to say that's going to come into play later.
Wait. Can we go back to the previous episode where Ritsuko said she's breaking out of her armor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how it smells like his mom. And how if they had a kid together and it was a woman, they would name it Ray. And that Ray has different color hair when she's not out of the tube.
Mm-hmm.
The bad part is, like, I have all this internally, and I know Cameron's got most of it, but I've seen the gears click back in place that are letting the core memories, like an Inside Out, come back down the tubes.
I was just thinking, like, the gears are kind of turning. There's a bug stuck within one of the gear joints, and then the bug gets crushed, and it's like, oh my God, you got it. No, it's like, oh, joy. I mean, like, for all the goofiness and all the, like, non-subtlety, I did kind of like this episode. I liked it more than episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
This is a creative episode. This is the most creative they've been with the budgetary restraints that they've had. This was an actually, like, mind-trippy episode where they had stuff going on. I will give them full credit. This was a good use of the situation that we're in at the current point of where they were.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I got nothing else to say. It was good. I enjoyed it.
I'll say this, but budgetary issues aside, this episode feels like what Anno wanted to do with the series after like that throwing caution to the wind point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
And he's just but Anno, we're on a kids network. Fuck the kids.
They're old enough to learn philosophy, okay?
Yeah.
No, I'm kind of like, as we go further down the rabbit hole that is the second half of this show, I am wondering how the rebuild movies are going to rebuild.
Oh, references.
Yeah.
Only thing I'm worried about watching the rebuild
Reference.
films is we got so used to this cast that things are going to be a little bit different.
It is. It's going to be a lot different. It's going to be even more different than like when you and me rewatched at this current point, and it'll be out already. But the Gurren movies, getting used to hearing everyone else's lines, like said from their Japanese counterparts. But yeah, it's going to be a bit different because we're going to get a cavalcade of different results with stuff with the life and death, everything of that, and then all the other. It's It's going to be a whole shebang of stuff.
All I know is that everything that's on Netflix. So Netflix has like the main series, End of Evangelion, and the Life and Death movies. As far as I know, they all have the same cast. It's when we get to Rebuild that.
I think they use the ADV cast, but I'm not sure, or at least for the first one. But I forgot.
Well, it's kind of complicated.
Did they redub those movies?
They didn't redub them, but
they have the dub in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think like it's a mix of some old actors returning and some new cast.
Okay.
We don't have time to go into all of that now, but
we'll discuss maybe that as extra stuff when we watch the movies, because we'll just be doing comparison points, kind of like when we did the movies the current. But yeah, glad to see I got my freaking video screen back got it back in the corner again. Oh boy, I promise people I have curtains I have picked out. I just need to be lazy and stop being lazy and buy them. But yeah, so we're past the 20 episode mark, so we're in the home stretch. And it's only going to get existentially crisis-y from here. Yes, I just made that word up right now, but I don't know what other word to use. So, Cameron, oh, no, before we get there, Mike, how's the seatbelt warning?
The seatbelt sign has been turned off after this, because until I know what happens in the next episode, things will start to plateau towards the end of this episode. It's like, okay, so we've reached one end of the arc. Now it's like time for the rest of the series.
Yeah, pretty much. But all right, cool. Cameron, where can everybody find you?
Twitter.com/CamsEyeView. I have my own website called camseyeview.biz, and I am the co-host of the Renegade Animation Podcast with Mike here. And for RenegadePopCulture.com, I also have a Patreon at patreon.com/CamsEyeView. That's where you can find me.
Sweet. Mike, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Captain K42. Check out all my QuickBot reviews on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. Find me in all the Facebook groups, just at my name. You can check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. Check out all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. And everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
Absolutely. And you can find me everywhere at Organoid0, mostly YouTube and Twitch. And we will see you guys next time, as we're going to go record this next one. See ya.
Bye.
Peace.